Hello there, my heroes and heroines, how are you? So today I'm gonna show you Superman mix-ups in the corner, because they're one of the best ways for you to deal damage on your opponent. Superman has got great mix-ups, especially in the corner, and you have so much options with his mix-ups. You can go for throws, for lows, for overheads, cross-ups, and you really must know this if you want to get the best out of Superman. Okay, so if you are a Superman player, please, you must use these mix-ups to get the best out of Superman. So basically, all your mix-ups, you're going to have to use his freeze breath. Okay, that is necessary. The freeze breath will always restand your opponent. So you're doing a Superman combo here, and then you freeze breath them, they're back into the stand position. You need that for you to get your mix-ups, the highs, lows, and cross-ups. You need to restand him, and Superman can do that with the freeze breath. So you're going to have to use it, and it costs a bar, but the benefits from this are gonna be great. So I'm gonna teach you the mix-ups, and there's two ways you can do them. Basically, you can freeze your opponent up and then try to go from something, go for something from here. Okay, they're frozen, and you can try something because you have a lot of time while he's stuck there. Or you can freeze him up, jump to 1-1, and then go for something, because 1-1 gives Superman a lot of advantage. Superman recovers a lot faster than the opponent, and you're gonna have a few frames to try to go for mix-ups. So I'm gonna show you these two variations, and I'm gonna give you my personal choice for mix-ups for each, because I think there are a few options that are better when you freeze him and then you go for the mix-up, and a few things you can do with this version, because you'll deal a little more damage, you know, before you go for the mix-up, and you have a few good options after this as well. So right now I'm going to show you both variations. So the first variation I'm going to show you is the jumping to 1-1 after the freeze breath. And for this variation, I recommend you go for something fast. After you do this, you really have to go for the mix-up right away, because otherwise the enemy is going to recover and is going to be able to get out of your mix-ups and is going to be able to punish you. So try to go for something fast. Okay, so the options are, you can go for a low after, you can go for a throw, like right here. You can go for an overhead, so you do your combo. You can go for a 4-3. This is a little bit slower than the other two, than the low, than the throw, but if you manage to hit that, you're gonna do a lot of damage, even meterless. So sometimes you can try to go for it. It's gonna do a lot of damage, even though it's a little slow, and the enemy can punish you for trying to do that. You have the instant overhead, as I like to call, which is the dive bomb that Superman has. And for you to try to make it instant, you have to go for the dive bomb as soon as Superman leaves the ground. This way he will go super fast, and the enemy is probably not gonna be able to react. If he's blocking low, it's pretty much guaranteed you're gonna get this overhead. And this is a great option because it's one of the best Superman starters. You can do a lot of damage out of it. Okay, so go for it often, because if you open him up with this, you're gonna get a lot of damage. And you can also go for the forward 3 that we were talking right now. Yes, it's low, and the enemy can try to punish you, but you can go for the meter burn version. So if he tries to hit you, it will be no problem, because you have the armor of the meter burn. And not only you get the armor, but you get the extra damage if you do the meter burn. So you can try to go for that as well. And another good option you can go is for a little 50-50 Superman has, which is 2-2, and then you can either go for the full string 2-2-3, which is an overhead, or you can go for 2-2 scoop, which is a low. So it's like a 50-50. The enemy must know if you're going to go for high or you're going to go for low. If you go for a high, you get yourself a full combo later, and it's awesome. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of damage out of it. If you go for the scoop, you can meter burn it and get some damage out of it as well. Okay, it's not gonna be as much damage as you would get from the 2-3, but the enemy, you have the option to go for the low, and that is great. So you can always go for that after the 1-1, and then you choose which one you can do. These are all good options, all great options for you to get your damage and to open your opponent's defense up. And you can also go for a fake throw, you know, 1-1, walk forward, and then you can jump and get yourself full combo. Just pretend you're going for a throw, but you actually don't go for it. It works sometimes. Or instead of jumping, you can fake the throw and go for a forward 3 meter burn. So you have lots of options, and all of these are really good. But you just have to remember that the recover from this 1-1 is kind of fast. The enemy will be able to punish you depending on which mix-up you're going for. So most of the time you're going to get your mix-ups, but if he tries to punish you, and he tries to punish you often, he's always breaking your mix-ups with, for example, a down 1. He recovers from this state and go for a down 1 or a down 2 to stop your mix-up, and he is succeeding, and he is constantly doing that. You can always go for a forward 2-3 after the 1-1 to open him up, because he's not gonna be blocking, because he'll be pressing down 1 or down 2, so he's not gonna be blocking. So use that to your advantage. You can go for the forward 2-3 after, because it's really fast, and the enemy is not gonna be able to punish that, and you're gonna get yourself a full combo. You can go for the 2-3 we're talking about. So even if the enemy tries to stop you, you can prevent that. You can go for a full combo, and you're gonna get the full combo anyways. So these are a few options you have with jumping to 1-1. And now I'm gonna show you a really good options you have after just the freeze. Okay, so let's go for it. So now I'm gonna show you a few mix-up options you have with Superman after the freeze breath. So you're going to freeze him up and go for the mix-up. This variation is a little better in my opinion, because you'll have more time to prepare your mix-ups, and then you can do a few things that are better in my opinion, that are a little bit more trickier. So what are the options? The first one I'm going to show you is a 50-50 I like to use, which is really good, and it's basically you're either going to hit the opponent in the back with the diving bomb, or in front with the jumping 3. So you're gonna get your combo, you're gonna freeze them up, and then after the freeze you're going to jump, and then you're just gonna have to choose. Do you want to attack him in the front with the jumping 3, or do you want to attack him in the back with the cross up? That's just it. It's really easy. Okay, and then if you go for the cross up, you're gonna get a lot of damage, because diving bomb is an awesome way to open up your opponent. And if you choose to attack in front of your opponent, you're gonna get even more damage, because the jumping 3 is awesome as well. It's a really good way to open up your opponent. You're gonna get a lot of damage in both situations, but the only thing you need to be careful about is the cross-up, because if you do the cross-up and the enemy blocks it, you're gonna be on the corner. Okay, you're gonna put yourself in the corner, and he can punish you, because you're going to be recovering from the dive bomb. The dive bomb has a few frames of recover, and the enemy will be able to punish you, and you'll be in the corner. So watch out for that, and just get the timing right. Okay, just don't go for it at any time. If you go for it too late, you're actually just gonna put yourself in the corner, and you're not gonna hit your opponent if you do too late. So you gotta do it in the right time, and if you do too soon, you're gonna combo. Okay, so just watch out for that. So the second mix-up I'm gonna show you is one I think is pretty cool, which is you freeze him up, and then you're gonna hold the forward 3. Okay, you're gonna hold this move, so you have a little more time to hit it, but the enemy is gonna be frozen, so you have the time to charge it. And basically, you're going to freeze them up, you're going to charge it, and then you can cancel it by doing a forward dash. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to freeze them up, charge it, cancel with the forward dash, and then after the cancel you can go for a throw, and you can also go for a low, which is great because most of the time enemies will say, oh my god, he's going for an overhead, then you cancel and go for a low. This really opens up your opponent. This is really good. This I can guarantee you, you're going to get them a lot of times with that. Or you can just let it rip, you know, and then you get yourself an overhead. So the enemy must guess, are you going to cancel with a dash to go for a low and for a throw, or are you going to hold it until the end? He must really guess what you're going for. And if he tries to go for anything funny, you can always press, you can always go for the meter burn version of the forward 3 at the very end. So you're holding, and then at the end you press, you go for the meter burn, and then you're gonna be safe. If he tries to go for anything to try to get out or to punish you, you're gonna be safe because of the armor, and you're gonna deal more damage at the same time. So this is great. And the last mix-up I'm gonna show you is my favorite. It's really good and it's very tricky because you really need to understand how Superman works. So basically for the mix-up, you're gonna jump and do a forward dash. And after the forward dash, you're gonna press jumping 3, okay? And as you can see here, the enemy, the Superman goes to the corner, but then he gets out of the corner. It's really nice, this mix-up. And as you can see here, it's a cross-up, okay? But you're going to do this after the freeze, and after the freeze the enemy goes back a little. So this cross-up, if you do this cross-up after the freeze, it's not a cross-up, as you can see here. This is really nice and it's really tricky. The enemy must really know Superman to block this. It's not a cross-up if you freeze him first. This is great. It's really tricky because you go to the corner with the air dash and then you get out, so it can confuse your opponent, and it's gonna be really hard for him to block that. But again, you really have to get the timing right. As you've seen me miss it early. If I do it too early, I will miss it. I'll throw the enemy out of the corner. So you gotta do it in the right time. And to make it even better, okay, after the freeze, it's not a cross-up, okay? But if you want to do a cross-up, you can. You just use the dive bomb instead, okay? Freeze him up, jump, and dive bomb. But as you saw here, I missed because the dive bomb is even harder to hit than the jumping 3. So for you to get this right, you really must get the timing. It's really hard, okay? So you really must practice this, because if you do too soon, you're going to the corner, and then instead of hitting Black Adam like I'm hitting here, you're going to go for the other side. Okay, if you do too soon, you're going for the other side. And if you do too late, you're just gonna be there in the corner. You're just gonna put yourself in the corner and you're not gonna hit your opponent. So you have to get the timing right. It's a little tricky, yes it is, but it's worth it, okay? It's really worth it if you manage to master it, okay? If you are able to do the reset the way you want to, god damn dude, you're going to deal a lot of damage and you're going to confuse your enemies a lot. But you really have to train the timing for it. So this is the best mix-up in my opinion, because it's a 50-50, but at the same time there's a little bit of tricks in between, okay? And for you that know how Superman works, it may not be as tricky, but for somebody that does not play Superman and does not know how he works, this is gonna be hell to block. I guarantee you, your opponent is gonna get caught by it if you do it right, okay? So this is basically what I had to show you of his mix-ups. I hope you liked it. And if you liked the mix-ups you do after the first variation I showed you, you can also do them after the freeze. You just wait longer and go for the low, wait longer and go for the instant overhead, wait longer and go for the throw. You can do the same mix-ups after the freeze as well. But I recommend you go for this other mix-ups I showed you, because they they're a little harder to block, they are a little better, you have better startups in there, you know, you confuse your enemy more. So I think you can get more out of them if you do in the way I showed you. But you can always go for this as well if you'd like to, or go for the other versions. You can choose whichever you want. I just wanted to give you a few options, and I hope you like them. This one in particular is pretty hard to do. You really must get the timing, so practice them, and if you're able to master them, oh my god, you're gonna be a hell of a Superman. Nobody's gonna be able to block you, okay? So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time.